Good morning, friends. Happy Sunday. Hope you are all doing well. I'm just going to wait just 1 second because I know that there's a delay. I just want to make sure that I'm up on screen and sounding a-okay. So as you are coming in, say hello. Okay, and it just switched over and it looks like I am in frame. Good morning. Good morning, Patty. Happy Sunday, my friends. Today is Sunday, July 27th. Can you believe it's the end of July already? Oh my God, where did July go? And I don't know about you, where you live, and I know it's probably summer, but it's not feeling summer around here in the Bay Area. That is for sure. We've had our coldest summer yet. But today is Sunday, July 27th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you are watching me live right here on YouTube, if you are live, say hello. I see Patty, I see Denise, I see Crystal. Good morning, good morning, good morning, my friends. And if you are new or returning, welcome. My name is Tammy Civello. If you don't know who I am, welcome to Cards by TLC. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of the San Francisco Bay Area. And I'm so sorry that I missed you guys last weekend. I caught a horrible bug that put me down for the count. But good news is I'm 100% better. Hello, good morning, Mary. Welcome in. I'm seeing some new faces, and that's exciting. So thank you all for being patient with me. It feels so good to be able to craft with you again. A few weeks ago, I mentioned that I would be doing a fun Summerween series. I know we have our typical Christmas in July series, but I thought I would switch it up this summer and do a fun Summerween series because we have the most adorable sweet Halloween suite and extra bundle. So much fun, and we're going to be diving into some fun creative things that we're going to be doing with the cello bags. Good morning, Kelly. Well, I have to pause right here. Kelly, welcome. Thank you for being a first-time viewer. I hope that you enjoy today's project and you stay with us. So again, I'm gonna do the whole Summerween series. This is video number 2. A couple of weeks ago, I created this cute card using the designer paper that came with the, I think it's called Spooky Sweet Collection, like as in sweets, and then sweet for, I know it's a tongue twister for sure. Good morning, Jenny. So this was what we created a couple of weeks ago using the kitty cat, and we used the spooky Halloween bundle. We're using both bundles today. We are using the main suite that, again, I'm using is where are my sheets of paper that I printed out? Oh, here we go. So here we go. This is the Spooky Sweet collection, and it comes with this adorable designer paper that we're using. And if you notice right here, these are ephemera pieces that pop out that can build super cute sweets. These are the cello bags. We're going to be using this gorgeous trim here, right here. That's going to be on card number 2. And then also in the suite, it has these cute little, what's the official, shimmer star foam stickers. These are really cute. These are puffy, kind of like a little marshmallow. So that is what we are using on most of today's projects. And we are also using the dies from the Fright Night Bundle. This is, first of all, the Spooky Halloween is a photopolymer stamp set with the coordinating dies. It has amazing fonts. You know I'm a font girl if you've been watching me for quite some time. But it has these images that cut out, and then it has additional sceneries. It has some bats, a tag, haunted house, a fence. We're going to be using the fence today, and we're going to be coloring our little Frankenstein dog. And then this is a cling mount stamp set, and it has some cute little tags that you can stamp make some really cute tags for treat bags, which you could certainly use for the cello, but I'm going to show you something a little different today. It has some cute little wording, boo, eek. We're using both. We're using the cobwebs in some fun ways. It has a little spider. We're not using this, but it also has this tab piece that fits right into the tags, and you can make super duper cute tags to go along with your treats today. So let's go ahead and dive on in. I do need to leave my dies out because we're going to be stamping, coloring, and die cutting all in one. We're going to be playing with the cello bags, but you guys are here to see the projects, right? Are you ready? Look how cute. So if you notice, the cello bag is kind of like crinkled and it gives a really cool texture. We're going to be heat embossing these cello bags to crinkle them up, and it gives you these amazing background textures. So we have our little Halloween scene. One of the designer papers that comes with the suite, it has these individual sceneries that are great for scrapbooking, but they're also great panels for backgrounds for cards. So we're going to be cutting this out today and using it on the first card that we're going to be creating. And then we have our cute little tags that I just off-centered them, and I didn't put the little tag die on it, but you can certainly do so. And then of course we have our ribbon and then our puffy little stars. So are you guys ready to get started? Let me go ahead and first and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and cut my panel out. And I'm going to first cut it at this angle just because it gives us good little sceneries. But I'm going to cut that panel off. I'm going to line that up in the track, and it looks like it's about 5 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and cut that off. And then I am going to just go ahead and line these up in the tracks in the scenery and just quickly cut those off. And that should line up right at 4, yes. Okay, so our panel is currently 4 by 5 1/4. So that fits perfectly in the cello bags. The cello bags are 4 by 6. I'm actually going to trim this off just a hairline because I want it to really fit in the bag and not fuss with it. So literally I'm just cutting off just a sliver to fit in that bag. So let's pull out the cello bags. These are holographic cello bags, and they're 4 by 6, and it gives us this really pretty pink holographic, and depending on what background you put it up with, it could look yellow, it could look green, it could look pink. So we are going to go ahead and put this in. Let's see here, we're going to be creating this card right here. So I'm going to put this in there. And I'm going to trim off this cello bag just so it fits the front of a card base, kind of like a 4 by 5 1/4 card base. So I'm just going to trim that down to 5 1/4. And then that way, when we heat emboss it, it'll crinkle up and go great on the background. But before we get started, let's go ahead and stamp before we see all the magic. It's so funny because when I first started crafting, the first thing that I fell in love with was heat embossing. So here's another fun way of using your heat tool. Go ahead and bring this down just a little bit so I can make sure that I stay in frame. Okay, so we are going to take these cute little words. I'm going to be doing boo on this one. And then we're also going to take the fence from this guy. And first and foremost, I am going to die cut those words out and the fence out. But here's a tip. I would highly recommend using the self-adhesive sheets that we have, because it just makes things a lot easier to just stick them down like stickers rather than using the glue. You can use a fine tip glue, that works perfectly, or you can brush it on. You can dab it with daubers. There's so many options if you don't have the adhesive sheet. So I'm just gonna turn away really quick and die cut these out. And so I have this on basic black, and then my orange is the two-tone cardstock in Timid Tiger. It makes the perfect orange. So I'm gonna pop these out. And then I'm gonna do a secondary boo to kind of like off center it. I'm just using my trash can that's off camera here, so bear with me really quick. Okay, there's our little fence. I'm gonna put our die back because we don't want to lose that. And then I'm gonna come in here and do another boo to make my cute little trick-or-treating scene. It's so funny because as crafters, we always like to do one season ahead, and as soon as 4th of July hits, everybody, like stores and everything, are pulling out like the Halloween stuff. I know that some of the stores around here had it before 4th of July, but it's funny how that works out. Okay, so there is our wording and our fence. I'm going to put my little boo back so I don't misplace it. So let's go ahead and stamp our little Frankenstein doggy. And I am going to put it on here because I'm going to be doing some coloring. So I have our cute little Frankenstein dog. Okay, I'm just going to really quick. Okay, good. No questions. So that's always a good thing. Okay, then I'm going to use Memento black ink, and I should have stamped this ahead of time the night before so it could really truly dry, because I am going to be doing some ink blending, but since I'm doing kind of direct coloring, I think it'll be okay. So I have my cute little doggy. And then I have a cute little trick-or-treat pumpkin. Maybe while this is just drying for a second, we'll go ahead and do the magic with the heat embossing. So let's go ahead and put that off to the side, and then I'm going to come in here and you guys are going to see the fun magic create. And I apologize because I do have to turn my heat gun on. I hope that's not too loud. Now I'm going to heat this up just a little bit, and then hopefully you guys can see the magic of the Cello bag kind of melting and crinkling down, giving that extra texture to your background. And you don't have to, it doesn't take a lot. And you don't want to overheat it because then it'll undo the crinkling. Okay. Put that down really quick. Do you guys see how cute that is? How it crinkles up and it gives it that fun texture? Isn't that amazing? I love this. Now, I don't know if this does it with our other, like our envelope, our clear envelopes, but I wouldn't recommend doing it. I would just, this is how they kind of showed us that it adds another element. So that's so fun. So I'm going to come in and bring in, I have some Highland Heather card base cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Isn't it cool? So fun. And you don't have to do a lot. Now, what I was kind of playing around with, so I was originally gonna die cut the tag out with this, but it didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. So the cello, like when you ran it through your die cutting, it pulled apart the cello bag. So it just didn't work out. So you kind of want to use it as kind of a background, and you can cut. I haven't tried cutting strips on this. I think that would work, but I'll play with that a little bit more. But I liked how it looked with just the background. So you can come in here and I can use the Seal. Seal Plus might stick, like pull it up more. I would recommend using either tear and tape or Seal. And I'm going to come in here and lay that down just like I typically would a top layer. I apologize for the glare. So there is our background. Then I'm going to come in here with my boo and off. I'm sorry, guys, that glare is just awful. That's the bad part about doing the cello bag. I think what I'll do is I'll put my little adhesive eraser. Is that better? I'm going to come in here with my boo and then peel my backing off just like I would my sticker. And I'm going to just lay my boo right above the door. And then come in here with my black boo and kind of off center it a little bit to give it like a 3D look with that nice background. That's what I'm talking about, like using the self-adhesive. It was so easy to just quickly add that down as stickers. Then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut my fence in half. And I'm going to do, let's see here. I'm going to switch this up because I cut it differently this time. I'm going to switch it up to where the fence is right at the sidewalk, and then this side is going to go just like so. Where the edge of the fence is going to line up with the edge of the cello bag. I know, aren't those really pretty, Denise? Gotta love Halloween colors. I'm definitely a Christmas girl for sure, tried and true. But I have fell in love with this sweet. So cute. And again, I'm going to come in here with my little, pull my sticker release off. And I'm going to line this up with the edge of the cello bag. And then there is our scenery. And then now we just have to, I'm going to put this off to the side here just because I don't want that glare to come in. We're going to go ahead and work on our doggy. And I have some blends here. So I have fresh freesia, Granny Apple Green, Dark Highland Heather, and Dark Timid Tiger. Yes, Dark Timid Tiger, because that is the perfect orange. So for our doggy, of course, he's Frankenstein. So I'm going to start off with the light Granny Apple Green and color him fully directly on. And then I'll come back in with my dark colors and kind of enhance like his little scar mark and where some shadowing can come in. Do our little thing. Don't forget his little paws. And then I'm going to come in with the dark Granny Apple Green and the bullet tip end. And I'm just going to kind of go over some lines. And then that way, it kind of gives you that blended look. And then I'm going to come in with my light fresh freesia and do his shirt. I'm going to come back in with my dark fresh freesia and do his pants. Oh wait, I think I did Highland Heather. I did his pants in Highland Heather. Yes. Come in with the dark Highland Heather. For the pants. And then for this little cross marking and the markings on his sleeve. And then I came in with the dark Highland Heather for the socks. And then for his sucker, I did Timid Tiger. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the light Timid Tiger for kind of the center. Hold on just one second, guys. Come in with my light Timid Tiger. Didn't really do much of a difference. Sometimes the light and the dark don't show that much of a difference. Peach might have been better for kind of like a lighter center. And then we got to do our pumpkin. And then we will die cut out our creatures. So let's go ahead and pull out our Frankenstein pumpkin, our Frankenstein doggy, and then our little pumpkin. And what I like to do is take a Post-it of some sort. That way it stays in place. Even if you have a magnetic platform, I always like to do an extra just in case it decides it wants to jump. So I'm going to do this off camera really quick. So bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves. Ask any questions that you may have. Okay. Just to guarantee that it doesn't jump, I'm going to do it one at a time. Oh, what? No problem, Mary. No problem. Glad you were able to stop by. Okay, just 1 second while I'm doing this live with you guys. Sometimes I do it with the magic of TV. But since we did some coloring, I wanted that to be cut with you live. And it kind of jumped a little bit, so I am going to do just a little bit of surgery right here at the bottom. Just make that line just a little bit thinner. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to take a glue dot and put it on the top of the pumpkin. Oh, got to put our dies away. Let's do that. Put that on the top of the pumpkin because that's going to go on our doggy's hand. Just like so, kind of swung out like that. And there's our cute little doggy. Let's go ahead and add him to our background here. Want to pop that up at an angle just because I don't want that glare to blind you. And I just saw Jenny left too. No problem, you guys. If you have to pop in, I completely understand and appreciate you all for being here. Okay, what is going on with this? 1 second, I have to unclog my glue. This was a new one too. Okay. Sometimes it likes to get clogged up. Okay. Here is our little trick-or-treater doggy, and then we will add our cute little stars. I like how they have glimmer in them. Maybe one right there. And oh, we got to do the inside. Okay, there's our front. Let's quickly do our inside. And I'll add Happy Halloween later, or if I have some Halloween birthdays, and this would be cute to send out as a birthday card. So I'm going to leave it blank for right now. And I cut a 3/4 of an inch strip by 5 1/4 off of the background of that. But there is, trying to do this, card number 1. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to card number 2. we have our little, if you notice, the glimmer paper is purple. I'll show you what I used, but this is card number 2. So we have a card base in Gorgeous Grape at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And where did my bone folder go? There it is. And then we have our inside panel piece, 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to do the exact same thing as we did on the first card. Add that strip of designer paper along the edge. Maybe this time we'll put it on the left-hand side. And this is the back side of the designer paper that we just used, that we cut up. Isn't it fun? I can't wait to do a little bit more and do some candy bag treats and treat holders and stuff like that. So we're going to be doing more of this coming soon. So we need another cello bag. Let's go ahead and grab that. And this paper is so cute. It's got little pieces of candy in it. So we trimmed that down just a skosh on the edge, just so it slides into the bag. Okay. And let's go ahead, and if you want to plug your ears if this bothers you, we're going to do the more magic with the cello bag again. Really want to make it crinkle. Okay. Here is our cute bag. And then this time we're going to go ahead and bring in some of that beautiful, gorgeous ribbon, the iridescent like ribbon. So pretty. It's so soft and so pliable. And Tammy is actually going to do a bow on camera. If you know, you know. But I'm going to leave myself a lot of extra room. And then before I tie this up, because it'll hold this in place, I'm going to place down my tags. There's 2 size tags on this. You have a large one and a smaller one. I used basic black for the largest one and basic white for the smaller one. And I'm going to put this down so it holds my ribbon in place for me, because I struggle with tying bows on camera. I can do them no problem off camera, but the minute I get on camera, I struggle with tying the bows. I didn't give myself a whole lot of room. Where's that edge? There we go. I didn't give myself a whole lot of tail room. You probably want to give yourself a little bit more room but at least that held that in place for me. And then we have our basic white that we're going to come off at an angle, just like so. And then we are going to cut out our eek, and let me show you really quick what I used for the purple cobwebs. What I had was I had some extra glimmer paper from the Creativity Now from June. This paper is going to be available next month for demonstrators to pre-order, or available when the catalog goes live if you're not a demonstrator. This is one of the in September. This is one of the perks that I absolutely love as a demonstrator. You get to order a month early. I love that. Is like one of my favorite perks in conjunction with the discount. Who doesn't like ordering before everybody else and having that extra discount? So fun. So, but another option I noticed on the last chance section of my storefront is the 2024 to 2026 in color glimmer paper, and Petunia Pop would be a great other option. But we're gonna die cut our cobwebs out, but we're also going to add some dark Highland Heather to that, just to make it, let's pull up the right one, Tammy. Dark Highland Heather. And this is an older one that I've used, that I've done a lot of flicking with. So I like to hang on to these because I don't want to wear down the tip. See if you notice that it does wear it down just a little bit. But it doesn't destroy it. You just have to be careful if you don't have extra. Otherwise, you can do regular cardstock. It is no problem. Maybe add some Wink of Stella on there. So you have options for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out. Luckily, they gave you 3 cobwebs. And this one, you definitely want to use the self-adhesive sheets on them because they are super fine. So even a fine tip would not work very well with this. So you definitely want the self-adhesive sheets on die cutting those out. So let me just die cut them out really quick. Bring this back. And then let me grab my black. And I used up, hold on, let me grab another piece of black and a piece of self-adhesive sheets because I need to die cut my eek out. You don't have to. That one's a little bit thicker, but I might as well do it right. So if you've never seen our self-adhesive sheets, they come in strips of 2 inches, 6 by 12. So I'm just going to trim that down, adhere that to the back of my black, and pull out my eek. And then we will do some coloring of our cobwebs. Get my take your pick tool, pull that out. Put that off to the side, and let me pull these up. I'm going to leave them intact because that'll be a lot easier to color. And then I'm going to pull in my scrap piece really quick, just so, because I'm going to be doing some coloring. Now I'm going to take the brush tip and just add that color to my web. Doesn't have to be perfect, just kind of do it on its side. And if it's easier for you to pull it off of the strip, do that as well. I can always go back in and add some color. Let me see how these are looking. I'm gonna add just a little bit color along the tips there. And I'm using the side of the brush. You don't want to go like that. That'll really ruin the tip. You can see where I missed some spots. Okay. You were watching, I'm sorry, Patty, I just saw your comment. You were watching on your phone and it was hard to see. Can I review when you put the DSP in the cello bag? You said to cut the top of the cello bags so it is open. Let me just grab that really quick. So sorry, I just saw that comment. So for the cello bag, let me grab another cello bag. And let me grab a piece of designer paper really quick. So the cello bag is open, just like so, and it's a 4x6. What I did is I trimmed this down just a little bit. It does fit in the cello bag at 4 inches, but I trimmed it down to like 3 7/8 just so it would slide into the cello bag. And because the cello bag is a 4x6 and I want it to be a 4x5 1/4, I cut that down to 4x5 1/4 to be like a front panel. But I had already cut my designer paper down to 4x5 1/4. So let me just show you really quick. So I had already cut my designer paper down to 4x5 1/4. And then see how there's accessible access cello. I cut that down to 4x5 1/4. I just cut that off just to make it a 4x5 1/4 inch panel. I hope that answers your questions. I think that's what you were asking. Okay, so we have our eek, and then we have colored our cobwebs, and then we're going to pull that off of our sticker, and you'll see that it leaves all of those little extra little pieces. This would actually even be a cool piece to add. If they all stayed on there, that would be kind of cool to add. But I'm just gonna come in. Oh, good. Yeah, the cello bag is open. Great question. Thanks for asking that. And then I'm just gonna stick that down. See what I mean by it? It's perfect for stickers rather than having to add glue. to that. I mean, you can add glue. You can add it to a dauber. You can add it to, I use a silicone brush that I've cut down. I'm going to come in here. Come on, release. There we go. Okay. Then we have our cute little cobweb right here. Yes, you could. Patty's asking the question. So for a faux shaker card, you could fold the excess of the cello bag over and seal it. Absolutely, you can, because it starts out as a 4x6. That would be a great, fun idea as well. This would make a great faux shaker card. It's the one thing that they missed, was adding a little pieces in there that you could make a shaker card. Okay, there is that. And then we'll go ahead and add our seal. I think Seal Plus would work. You just have to do it in smaller strips, obviously, so it doesn't pull everything. And then again, this is in Gorgeous Grape card base. There we go. And then we're gonna add some of the purple stars. Do a smaller one right there. And there we have it. There is project number 2. What do you guys think? So cute, right? I'm angling it up just so that glare doesn't hit you guys. I would love to know which one your favorite is. And if you're watching me live here, go ahead and type in which one you like the best. And if you're watching the replay, I would love to know as well. So cute. Oh, the loose shaker elements are the same colors as the cello, and I think that would be fun. Oh, that would absolutely be a great idea. I think I will definitely be doing that. You are so welcome, you guys. I'm so glad that you like them. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. And if you liked it, please go ahead and hit that like button on my video. And if you haven't yet subscribed, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to all. So when I upload my Template Thursdays videos, every Thursday I upload a different template. And then on Tuesdays, I have my Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. And then I have my lives on Sunday. And then I'll randomly throw in some extra videos. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I would love for you to do so. I'm still growing my channel. As always, we always grow our channels. But I want to thank you all for joining me. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you all next time for more creative fun. Bye, everyone.